who's here. How many EMS folks, paramedics, EMTs we got here? In regards to about pictures, we do not do pictures, and we are not inadvertently releasing information. I know we have at least one patient. Point being, if you do feel uncomfortable, it's fine. Just let us know. There's some chairs you can sit down, cool off a minute. Again, what we don't want to do is put in jeopardy our ability to do classes like this, and we want to be extremely respectful. One other thing that we do like to do is we like to have just a moment of silence to say thank you for this gift that we have today. So if you would join me for just a moment, I'd appreciate that.
I can't emphasize enough how important it is for us to honor and respect these gifts we've been given. But let me start at the beginning.
My name is Kimberly. I'm a mother of 3 and wife to this guy, Joe. Joe is a doctor, but isn't exactly what you'd call your typical doctor. His best friend Jim is a paramedic, and they have worked side by side for nearly 30 years. Together, we run a small company out of our barn, which isn't exactly what you'd call your typical barn, because the work we do is saving more and more lives every day. Let me explain. Joe and Jim have been saving lives their entire careers. From Katrina to the Pentagon, these guys have seen it all and then some. But deployments to some of the worst disasters in our nation's history exposed how underprepared we actually were and inspired them to envision a new model for saving lives, with the help of those who have already lost theirs.
Joe and I have never been satisfied with the status quo in education.
We utilize our extensive experience in disaster response.
We're always looking to do something better.
Help train local responders.
But we want to take it to the next level.
So they can save lives that we didn't have the ability to save.
And that's why we do what we do.
We're big believers in realism.
As real as it can be, and the best teacher, we believe, is human tissue.
We use human cadavers to ensure that the training is the most realistic that we know how to make it.
Because that gives the medic the realism that's needed to carry out the actual job.
Now, they're educating students all over the world with teachers who never say a word. And here's how. On the opposite side of Tennessee from our little barn, in the foothills of the Smoky Mountains, is a man named James. And James grants wishes. Final wishes, to be exact.
We provide an option for individuals to donate their body for the purposes of medical research.
We are the connection between the person with the disease and the researcher who's trying to find a cure.
We're out here to advance science, contribute as no one else can. We've developed state-of-the-art processes here that no one else in the country can do in Northeast Tennessee.
The clock begins within moments of the donor's death. From there, it's a race against time for James, his son Connor, and their team, and for the body.
Time is really of the essence in collecting specimens because the body does start to decompose rather quickly.
We get there as soon as possible.
Over time, the specimens degrade.
So it's very important that we get the donor back so that we can start recovery.
Often the researchers will want them the next day.
So things like hearts, brains, livers.
Cell viability is very important.
We will ship to specific researchers.
So in no more than 24 hours, the researchers should have the specimens in their hands.
For more than a decade, James and his team at Restore Life have been chasing death, putting human cadavers in every corner of the globe. Each person has their own reason for donating to James, and it's as unique as they were in life.
There are a lot of different diseases out there that we'd like to find cures for.
George is a Tennessee native whose wife of 40 years died from a rare genetic disorder. It was her request to have her body donated to James and his team.
The whole idea is, let's find a cure.
And like many hundreds of others who have donated themselves to Restore Life, and just like his wife, George has already made all the necessary plans to do the same.
Once I die, my spirit is somewhere else, so my body is just useless unless it's used for this purpose, to help other people or to help research. It's kind of a waste if you don't.
There is certainly nothing usual about what we do, but organizations like Restore Life have been targeted for what they do. And while some find it fascinating, others see it as a topic to be exploited or even twisted. That's not how we see it.
Well, there's a fair amount of sensationalism that comes with death. And here recently, Thomson Reuters has run a series called Body Brokers. The term alone, body brokers, is very demeaning. We feel like instead of body brokers, we are hopefully cure brokers.
We respect every donor that comes in.
We do not approach them. They approach us, and we offer it as an option. And when they learn there's an option to help people for generations to come, that's the option they usually go with. In reality, there are a lot of people who just don't have the means to properly dispose of their loved one.
We have people from all walks of life that come in.
Doctors and PhDs and nurses, because they know the importance of what we do.
The only good thing that comes out of death is organ and tissue and body donation.
Teachers who say, I taught my entire life, I'm going to teach when I die.
Without that process, there's no good that comes from death.
Converging from opposite ends of the state, Paragon and Restore Life come together for what they call a higher purpose, to leave the world better than they found it.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Hey.
Hey.
I've talked to James. He's got your guy. He's going to meet you at the hotel.
We drove from Northeast Tennessee to assist in supplying specimens for this lab.
I've got, you're welcome, 2 rooms for you.
Oh, good.
Nice. You don't have to bunk up.
All of our donors want to help their fellow man, and that's what we're here to do.
To be honest, I'd rather have something like this than some desk job.
In a nutshell, what we're doing is we're simulating a cardiac arrest and utilizing cadavers in this very unique way. In cardiac arrest, very subtle details have a huge impact on the quality of CPR, and that's part of what we'll be able to demonstrate. We've developed a model that we can utilize to show folks how important certain aspects of CPR are. There's no question that the use of cadavers makes people uncomfortable in many ways.
It's never what someone's preconceived notion is going to be.
Yeah, I thought it was a little different, but we're human, and this is human. It's more or less all just the same.
And appreciate the incredible gift that we've been given.
And the goal is to help others, so I don't have a problem with it at all.
Within a few minutes, folks move from, no thanks, I'm fine back here, to sort of edging up. And then, a few minutes later, it's like, what is that right there? And then can I touch that? This is a show that allows us to go anywhere in the world.
Our other labs are much more logistically intense.
No need for any specialized services other than stuff that we bring with us.
This one, Joe and I can get it all set up in a matter of a couple hours, and we're ready to go.
And the specimen.
Without the selflessness of others and their precious final gifts, we couldn't tell you about all the amazing things they make possible. You wouldn't hear about providing tissue to study the rarest of diseases, train soldiers to care for a wounded comrade, and teach a rookie medic how to restart your heart.
It's an amazing experience to watch.
We've worked with EMTs, and some of them said this is the best training they've ever had.
People leave with a whole new fascination and appreciation for what an amazing machine the human body is.
And this is just the beginning. Today, Joe and Jim are leading a research project that could change everything modern medicine knows about saving lives.
We're incredibly proud of being involved in that effort, and I think in many cases we're just scratching the surface of how much different disaster medicine response and cardiac arrest response is going to be.
And James is just the guy to give them the tools to make it happen.
I meet countless people in their final stages of life, and what I've learned is people in general are good people. They want to help their fellow man.
He's with you today to share a gift to help you save another life. So with that, let's take a moment of silence and let listen.
The techniques and the medicine that we can put in the field now are changing in front of us and are changing because of us in many ways.
Something that could save lives in some way. Sure, my part could be minute, but I'd be happy to help anybody.
Because heroes are made, not born. And because sometimes there is life after death.
We can?
This is called the doorknob. And usually that works really well.
Get
I
that?
hope you caught that.